Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Progressive Queens, the show that explores all things politics from a female perspective. After 2 weeks, I'm joined by the panel. I know Jenny was on here last week because she felt so bad I was by my little old poor lonesome self. But Mickey's also back after a 2 week hiatus. Hopefully, Mickey, it was a good time off to get some
Hi.
stuff done. So we're gonna jump right in it, and we have a lot to get into. And I want to just jump into it because I'm a worrier. I am so worried about the Nina Turner race. And the reason why I'm so worried about the Nina Turner race is because now she's being outspent 4-1 on TV ads. I don't know where the polling is. I haven't heard any new polls. Last one I heard, she had like a 50% um, approval
50.
rating. I don't
She
know what.
was she was 50.
Yeah,
Chantel was 15.
yeah. It has that
I'm
changed.
I'm not worried.
I
This
am.
isn't like it's not a national race. It's not even a state race. It's for her district.
Yeah.
And the people in her district love her. I
I,
don't think the money's going to make any difference. I mean, we all knew that the corporate Dems were going to do this. They're going to come out and endorse anyone other than Nina and put all their money behind her. I don't think it's going to matter because it's just a district race.
Mhm.
I hope you're right, but I am worried so bad. I'm like, okay, now you got Jim Clyburn, and we all remember what happened when he got involved in the whole making Biden the nominee gig. And I know Ohio is not South Carolina. I get that, but I'm like, is Nina still like the number one in fundraising, or is she now lagging behind?
I think
I
she's
haven't
still
seen
leading
it.
in the fundraising, and I think that it's not. I don't think you should worry. I think it is an act of desperation from outside financial sources. I don't think that it's going to affect the voters in the way that it's affecting the TV.
I agree.
Yeah, I hope you guys are right. I'm just like, no, she's being spent outbid 4-1. Although Chantel Brown, I don't know how anybody could be against Medicare for all. I've heard every stupid argument against it. I've heard that, you know, us progressives, we want everything free, although nobody ever said Medicare for all was going to be free. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that, but it keeps being a speaking point. But her reason for being against Medicare for all, I'm like, lady, are you serious? She said something to the effect of, you would lose your doctor. And I'm like, well, if there's only one system, you guys explain this to me. If there's just one way that you can get paid, how do you lose your doctor? How? Except for that doctor doesn't accept Medicare anymore. I'm literally like, wait a minute, huh? What?
Fear, fear mongering.
That's been
Fear
the talking
mongering.
point of theirs since Obama put in Obamacare. They're like, oh no, won't be able to keep your doctor. You won't be able to make your own decisions, and it's just one of the tropes that goes along with it. And every other country that has socialized medicine is proof against that, and yet this nonsense, you can't keep your doctor, it spreads like wildfire.
And I'm like, wait a minute, people. All you got to do is sit and think. If there's just one system where all the doctors are participating, how are you losing your doctor? I have yet to hear somebody say, you know what? My Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, that's the greatest insurance I've ever had. All I hear is premiums too high, the deductibles too high, the
Mm-hmm.
copays are too many, I can't get my medicine.
Yes.
That's all I hear. I don't know what you guys are hearing, but that's all I'm hearing. And when she said that, I'm like, who told her? Who told her that?
Mm-hmm.
Who? Who sit there and said, now this is what you say? Don't ignore all the facts. And I had to tell you all about a conversation I had, same subject, is someone said, if we're socialists, I'm leaving the country. I'm like, well, where are you going to go? Because you realize most countries have socialized care. They have paid college for all. Where,
Most developed, yeah.
what country are you exactly going to go too, because I don't understand that. But, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if Obama came out and endorsed her. I still keep saying, okay, I'm going to wait for it. And that to me, I know you guys said don't worry, but that might be the nail in the proverbial coffin because Obama, for some reason, is still popular. And I don't know why, but it's still popular among
I don't think a endorsement from Obama would attract Nina voters. I think they're opposites. I think that people who are already planning to vote for Nina would not be swayed by Obama of supporting her in public.
I'm hoping you're right. I'm hoping you guys are right, and I'm just being a worry ward, and I'm just
again, look at it's a local election. It's not even statewide. You know, a national election it would matter. A state election, governor would matter. She's only running from one district in her state. And it seems the people in that small district love her. They're going to have to do some mighty fancy footwork to get Chantel elected or nominated. Yeah. I'm not worried.
Pass some of that to me because I'm just like, well, she's being outspent 4-1, and another.
Well, don't forget, after Queen Nancy made a great proclamation beginning of last year when she said, no Democrats are to try to primary an incumbent. She then put every penny of the DNC's money and every endorsement against the squad, all 4 of them. She then not only put her money and her endorsements behind Kennedy against Markey, she said we have to keep the Kennedy dynasty going. They did that. They did that, and all 5 of them won their races. All 5 of them won their primaries. So Nancy, the big guns, the Democratic Party coming out behind Chantel didn't matter in those district races at all.
Yeah, I'm hoping you're right because I'm just like, if Nina loses, I'm just gonna go berserk mad. I'm just gonna go mad because I'm just like, I don't, and Jim Clyburn.
No,
I know that's Talicia's favorite, ha ha ha, but I'm trying to be respectful because I was really taught respect your elders. He pushing it. He's really pushing it with his. He still thinks that Democrats lost seats because they talked too much about defunding the police. Are you serious? Go sit down somewhere, please. Go sit down.
Tracy, I don't think nobody gets respect unless they earn it. You don't get my respect just because you're older or because you're in a big position or because you have wealth. You get my respect because you show what kind of person you are. There's no reason to respect Clyburn. Not with the things that he's been pulling. No respect at all.
I think that level of respect that is held, I think that mutual respect is held in too high of a regard when it comes to the Senate and Congress, because we're too worried about what the other side is going to feel about what we're doing. And I don't know if that's particularly Democratic, because when Republicans are there, they do not care. They get their stuff pushed and passed and done. Thank you very much. And so I think that those of us who are Democratic and also kind of promoting humanity and a general respect and love for each other, I think we get stuck in that when it comes to fighting for what's right, because we don't want to upset our Republican friends. We don't want to upset our centrist Democrats. We're too worried about, should I respect them and how should we treat each other? So I think that I agree with Mickey that until until you show me you deserve my respect. And especially after you've showed me that you don't deserve my respect, I'm not going to go back and continue.
And like you said, like Jenny said, what happened to mutual respect? Shouldn't our representatives, and they're representatives, they're not gods.
They're not.
They're elected to represent our wishes. If they're not representing our wishes, they're not respecting us.
You know, and that's, like I said, it's the way I was raised, because when I was raised, and still I think this, I always think that older people are for guidance. They're the ones there to tell us, this is what you do in this situation. You do this or you do this. They're there for wisdom. They're there for instruction.
That has gotten us in so much trouble.
I know, but let's just hear me out on this one though. But they're there, you know, young men are for war, old men are for counsel. That was drilled into me. And when I see these corporate Democrats, it's like, it's making me question almost everything that I was raised to think. The way in my mind, now I'm just like, okay, no, that's it. And I think,
well, if you respect someone only because they're older, do you respect Pelosi or Schumer or Mitch McConnell or Trump?
Yes, see, that's where it gets that's where it gets tricky, because all of those people are well older than me, and audience, don't get tricked up by the gray hair. But it's just something that I always war within myself, because I'm like, well, I was always taught, you do not criticize an older person. No, you can completely disagree with them. They can say completely the wrong things. But then you're right, Jenny, that's gotten us into a whole lot of trouble.
And Tracy, we all are taught certain things, good and bad, when we're growing up. As we grow up, we learn, we get educated, we speak to other people, we see what's going on in the world, and we change those thoughts and feelings. And it's okay. You don't have to feel guilty about it, because you matured, you grew up in those thoughts. I learn something new every day.
That's a good point. That is a good point. And I'm glad you guys kind of talked me down that. I'm still trying not to be worried about Nina. So I'm still need some, like, hey, stop it. Because I'm.
Well, there's only 24 days left.
I know.
That many? It seems like this campaign has been going on forever.
Doesn't it though? I'm like, okay. Yep. And speaking of socialists, I was so happy that India Walton beat that piece of crap mayor of Buffalo in the primary. I got two thoughts. I'm going to let you guys go first on this. I was just extremely happy.
Oh, I am too. I couldn't believe it, especially in Buffalo, because, there's a lot, although this is a blue state, there's a lot of Republicans here. And, when people say it's a blue state or red state, they're not talking about who's running it. They're talking about voters.
Right.
And New York is a blue state with a majority of Democratic voters. There's a lot of enclaves of Republicans of solid red, like where I live. I'm in the boonies, and it's solid red. So Buffalo has been, it's a big city, but it's gone uphill and downhill a lot. I'm so glad that they voted her in. I was shocked and thrilled.
Now, but this is just the primary, right? So she's not been voted in formally. And the other issue is that then the current mayor announced that he's running a write-in campaign. So he's essentially telling the voters, oh, no, you didn't mean that. You don't really want me to not be your mayor anymore. Something's wrong. Or maybe he thinks that that more people will, that his followers maybe didn't vote in the primary.
What's that piece of garbage's name anyway?
What a pompous, just to just put it in the voters' faces, like, yeah, I'm not going away. I know you said you want me to, but I'm not.
He's doing the same thing the corporate Dems are doing to Nina. He is saying, okay, the people spoke. You spoke with your votes, but I'm going to ignore what you said. I almost slipped. I'm going to pay no attention to how you voted.
Right.
But
that's the corporate mindset.
Did you guys hear the press conference? Did you guys see the press conference?
Yes.
I don't live in Buffalo. I don't live in the state of New York. I almost wanted to just leave Indiana, live in Buffalo just to vote against him. I was like, he sat there, and I'm sorry to cut you guys off because this guy really made me mad. I got a couple of problems. First of all, come on calling this an anomaly. Boy, shut up and stop sexually harassing your employees. Secondly, yes, it was low voter turnout. He also refused to debate her. He didn't even.
Yeah, that's true.
His whole campaign, he didn't even look to her. She got her people out. You didn't. And I love that part where he will say, "Oh, the people say write in Brown." No, you literally made that up at a press conference. Nobody was saying vote in Brown. And the fact that the media, the local media, is taking him seriously, this is just a joke. But Jenny, on your point, I don't think there's a Republican running. So pretty much whoever wins, they're going to be mayor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if or the party helps back a Republican.
Yep, that's what I said. I thought Trump was better in his loss. Oh no, this mayor, he beat Trump. He called her. He's like, she's a radical socialist. I'm like, what's bad about being a radical? What's exactly bad about that?
That's what we love about her.
I'm like, that's probably that's probably why she beat you. Instead of just looking at, okay, I got beat because of this, and this. You can't even, your ego can't let you sustain that you lost. So you're going to launch this write-in campaign. And I guess all the media locally is saying, oh, we have lax rules. He can really do something. He has money. Just go away.
It's very on par. It's very on par for the Democratic Party. And it has been. I mean, look at the past several of our nominees for president. Have any of them been the one the people really wanted? We didn't want Hillary. We really, really did not want Hillary, right? Why? We wanted Bernie. Why not? Because the Democratic National Committee has a lot of money behind it that they're willing to throw into maintaining the status quo. They're not there to vote for us. They're there to make sure the people that do vote for us don't get into office.
Exactly.
That's the DNC's MO.
And the DNC was admitted into court. They're the ones who determined the nominee. I mean, they literally in court said, "We'll determine who the nominee is."
Who wanted Biden? Who? What voters said, you know who we should pick is another 70-year-old white guy who has problematic history. Like they just keep giving us the same recycled options.
After the first three primaries, he was in 5th place.
No, he was in last place.
Bernie and Elizabeth and
Buttigieg
and Amy. He was in 5th place and he was out of money. Two things that eliminate you immediately.
But then the corporate Dems, the companies, they all pool their money and say, no, this is the Democrat you really want.
But the corporate media did what they're doing in this Buffalo race. They're doing the exact same thing. The media kept saying, oh, Joe's the one to beat. He's the one to watch. If you watch the local coverage of that Buffalo race, they're doing exactly the same thing. Mm-hmm. If you strategically thought about it, what chance does a write-in candidate really have? They have Slim chance to none. I don't know of any candidate that's ever been elected on a write-in. I don't know it. Maybe you guys do. I don't. But the media keeps saying, oh, you should watch him. He has money. He has this. Well, Joe has the experience. It's the same. It's literally the same type of argument. Yeah. But I wanted to play that press conference, but I'm not, because I'm just like, I won't. I really will not, because I was really angry. He like when Trump says that he was robbed, his voice is somewhat calm. He's saying, yes, I was robbed, but this guy he was literally yelling. He was yelling like, this radical socialist, da da da. Like, okay.
He was angry and he was nasty.
He was very nasty. And I'm like, you lost. What about not? And I don't like the way that Cuomo threw her away as an anomaly. No, anomalies happen. I don't know. Anomalies happen if I woke up and I was 75 pounds lighter. That's an anomaly. Him not debating her, that was his choice. He could have had an open debate with her where they would discuss ideas, but he didn't want to do it.
And he didn't campaign. He didn't go knocking on doors.
Campaign. She literally went into the neighborhoods and campaigned. Dude, shut up. It's like I want to tell the whole Democratic Party, shut up.
You know, this has been going on for quite a few years now. Progressives are making inroads. The people, the polling shows the vast majority of people, both Democrats and Republicans, the voters, want these progressive policies. They want Medicare for all. They want free college. They want child care. They want the infrastructure and the climate bill. The people want this. Both sides of the aisle, the voters want it. Both sides of the aisle in Congress don't want it. So that they don't care what the people want.
Because we're not, I mean, most of the people, they're assuming that the people are going to vote based on specific morals, right? That's why they push anti-abortion. That's why they push anti-gay marriage. That's why they're appealing to fears of their base, right? So for us, the Democratic, the Dems in charge are, we're living in fear of fascism constantly. We're constantly scared of becoming fascists. And the right is constantly scared of becoming communists. But neither of us, I mean, that's not policies that we're thinking about. If we were to ask the individuals, hey, would you like for your kid to be able to go to college for free? Find me a parent that will say no.
Oh, honey, wait a minute. I just went to a family barbecue event, and my uncle, oh Lord love him, he said that no, college shouldn't be free. If you want to go to college, you need to pay for it. I'm like, no.
You know, when my mom's generation went to college, my aunt went to college. My aunt got her master's in nursing, and she paid like $6,000 for her entire college education. That is way more affordable than, even if we match it for inflation on the dollar, we would be way more able to pay for education if it were on the same page.
State universities were free. It's only since, I think, the 70s and 80s that they started. First, they started charging a little, and then it went up and up and up. And then along came the private ones who were ripping people off. But it used to be free. We used to do it. And these people who keep saying free healthcare, free college, it's not free. All we're asking for is use the tax money that we're paying in on the people.